Ya vipi jamaa? It's BENTEX and MERCY here again. Tunakuomba uende pale YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, search BENTEX and MERCY Family. Utaipata hapo. Utatupata hapo, subscribe, share, comment. We need to grow, we need to reach this generation. It's all about positive vibe.
Asante guys, BENTEX and MERCY Family. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like and drop a comment. Today for you, and it's all about marriage. So to marriage kuna vitu nafaa kuwa unajua, and that is how to fight for your marriage. But before there, let's start to know, kwanza tuanze kujua what is marriage. So marriage, it's an agreement between two loving parties. That is a man and a woman. Hakuna marriage ya man and a man. It's a man and a woman. So now that we all know that what is marriage, tuende hapo kwa how to fight for your marriage. Niko na 2 points tano. Na hizi ukinisikiliza, your marriage itakuwa tu successful. Siongei na ladies peke yake, naongea na ladies and men also. So point number 1, that is never give up. Okay, we all know that marriages zinakuanga na difficulties mingi na many trials. Now those trials of difficulties are there to deepen our love for our spouses, just like the love we have for Christ. Zenye kuna kuanga na trials and difficulties zenye zinakuja to deepen our love for Christ. You can refer that in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 28. Again, in any good relationship or marriage, we have the 3 key points, that is dedication, commitment and communication. Ukikuwa na hizi tatu, my friend, your marriage itatatizika. Communication ikikuwa mzuri, you be dedicated to your partner and then you be committed. It's all about that. Alafu under that point we have a note. We all want our marriages to be great and better no matter any circumstances. My dear friends, hakuna mtu anatakanga marriage yake ikue mbaya. No. Sisi sote tunatakanga tukue na marriage mzuri and a better one. So that kila mtu akigua pale nje anaona MERCY and BENTEX, they are good couples. Why? There is dedication, commitment and communication. Tumeelewana? So we have point number 2 for your marriage. Not in that point tutakuwa tunazungumzia, sometimes we all know that the more you invest in your marriage, the more valuable it will be to you. Alafu tunajua sote kitu utainvest, alafu kitu value, kila saa utakuwa unaifaitia, like utataka ikuwe inatumika vibaya. So that's why we are told the more you invest in your marriage, the more valuable it will. What you invest in and value, you will fight for. Hapo on that point niko na 2 ways zenye zitakuonyesha if you are fighting for your marriage. That is 1, focus on yourself and what needs to change in you before pointing out what needs to change your spouse. That means make sure umefocus na wewe kwanza before focusing on that problem yenye unajaribu kuipoint. The other point is that try not to use the word you wakati mnaargue na your spouse. Jaribu tu utumie majina mzuri, sometimes it can help you, mnatuliza, mna reconcile vizuri. Point number 3, guard your marriage. Remember that tumesema point number 1, never give up. Point number 2, fight for your marriage, not in it. And then point number 3, it's guarding your marriage. How do we guard our marriages? Remember that marriages are valuable to marriages are vulnerable to Satan because they are valuable to God. Shetani hapendi ndoa kwa sababu zilianzishwa na nani? Na Mungu. So just the way ndoa ziko na thamani kwa Mungu, hakuna vile zitakuwa na thamani kwa Shetani. Inakuwa hivyo. So if Satan can create any disunity between husband and wife, he can cause believers and unbelievers alike question God's designs for relationship. One of the best ways to guard your marriage against Satan's attack is to guide your mind. Kama kuna njia nzuri yenye unaweza guide your marriage before everything, unafaa una guide your mind. Kuna maswali vingine Shetani ukuletea, unaanza kuuliza na huyu bwana yangu, does he love you? Huyu bibi yangu, does she love you? Immediately hiyo ikiring kwa akili yako, umeharibu. So the good way ni kufanya nini? The best way is to guard your mind. When Satan tries to get you to question your spouse, remember the apostles' advice. That is in Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. Hiyo inamaanisha like ukiona Shetani ni kama anaingia sana kwa akili, anaanza kukufanya una question your husband or your wife. Just remember in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. Time yetu ni kidogo, hatutaangalia sana the verses. So allow me just to rush. Point number 4 is pursue your spouse. We all know that leo ukikuwa na mti and then uiweke maji, the more you uiweka maji, the more ina grow fast. Same way na kakitu yenye kanako kenye kako na uhai, ukifeed the more kana grow. So the more you feed, the more you I meant just like a healthy plant has deep roots that help it to withstand droughts. A healthy marriage is deep-rooted in love, allowing it to withstand all kinds of conflict. Hiyo tunamaanisha vile tu mmea unakuanga na roots zenye ni strong, inazisaidianga hata kukija ukame, kukikuja nini, ina remain kukua strong. Hivyo pia ndio marriage unafaa kuallow that love, upendo ikue mingi, so that hata kukikuwa na any conflict between the two, unapata hizo waziwashtui, umereconcile vizuri. Aya, on that point, Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, remind us in 1 Peter 4:8, and on other hand kuna hiyo kitabu ingine Proverbs chapter 10:12. Unaweza refer hiyo kwa zaidi hapo, it will make you understand better. On the same point ya pursuing your spouse, it's asking he or she, that is your husband or your wife, ni nini anapenda, ni nini yenye anachukia, alafu akishasema just make it as a priority so that kusikue na inconvenience mingi. The last point, and it's very important, pray for your marriage, your spouse and for yourself. Nyinyi tunajua tukua maombi ndio inatukeep move. So prayer is a vital role in fighting for our marriage. It's a weapon that Satan cannot stand up to. Maombi Shetani haiwezi. So as you pray for your spouse, remember to pray for yourself. Ask God to help you see your spouse through his or her eyes, to help you fix things you need to become. Let God transform you while trusting him to do the same for your spouse. You can refer it in Romans chapter 12 verse 9. When you ukikufuatilie those 5 points, friend, my brother, my sister, trust me, everything will be okay.
Ya vipi jamaa? It's BENTEX and MERCY here again. Tunakuomba uende pale YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, search BENTEX and MERCY Family, utaipata hapo. Utatupata hapo, subscribe, share, comment. We need to grow, we need to reach this generation. It's all about positive vibe. Yeah.